Welcome to the Lexy Jai Show podcast.
Wicka wicka. For spiritual gangsters who want a dose of the spiritual mixed with fun.
Like and subscribe so we can be best friends.
Nailed it. Hey, so welcome back
Hi.
to us.
To us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Jai's birthday today.
Thank you.
So
Round of applause. I'll wait.
happy Christmas Day to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
So, big show today, Lexi. Let's
Ooh.
talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
Are you on board?
I am totally here.
Okay.
I think.
So the first thing I want to talk about
Yeah.
is essential oil.
Oh,
So
yes.
for a spiritual person,
my
how
gosh.
much should you drink? Is like 1 liter a day okay? Or is it like 3 liters like water?
Oh my gosh. I don't know why you get me every time.
Because I didn't tell you that we're going to talk about this.
Oh, okay. Anyway. Just for the record, don't drink.
Do not drink essential oil.
Do not drink essential oils.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about essential oils? Do you use, what ones do you like to use?
Okay, so peppermint is good.
Ooh, yeah. What do you use it for?
Breath.
Yeah, it generally does work for that.
Yeah. Like there's little peppermint, like doTERRA ones, little peppermint balls or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
yeah.
ones are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankincense.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the listeners who don't know what frankincense is.
So frankincense, I don't even know what it is other than the fact that it trips me out in meditation.
Yeah.
It's
very high vibration.
Yeah.
Like very high vibe. There. I can't talk properly. High vibrational essential oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really cool to meditate with it. I feel my vibration raise instantly, and I can almost feel it in my, well, not almost, I can feel it in my third eye, like each time.
Instantly.
Instantly, and it's pretty cool and pretty trippy.
I'm the same with that, but do you find that because obviously you got incense and stuff as well?
Yeah.
Do you just use the frankincense like essential oil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you use it?
Any incense at all.
How do you use it?
Not even sage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really use sage much.
Yeah.
I'm suddenly burning, setting my carpet on fire.
Yeah.
Who hasn't been there?
Me.
Yeah. Okay.
How do I use frankincense? So
yeah, like with the essential oil. Do you use it in a diffuser?
no, actually, I don't.
Just put it straight on.
I don't even put it. Sometimes I'll put it like straight on my third eye.
Yeah, I just smell it.
Other times I just smell it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that with frankincense. I've got frankincense at home, and yeah, like I can smell it and go. Or
lavender's good as well.
Yeah, lavender is good. I used to use incense quite a lot. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't for a very long time.
Yeah.
I got a bit I went down a bit of a health rabbit hole.
Okay.
On breathing in what some of them are made out of, and I was just like, yeah. So I switched to essential oils.
Do you know what? I've never heard of that.
Oh really?
But for some reason, I just
it doesn't feel,
because I felt like breathing in that stuff wouldn't actually be the best for me. So
yeah.
I guess it's just gut instinct.
Oh wow. Shane was for listeners, Shane was making a comment about gut instinct earlier today.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question on the essential oils?
Yeah.
I can't exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure it was a couple of years ago. One of my mates was like, you should put like a drop or two of peppermint underneath your tongue, and it's for like training, sort of like it G's you up. So he actually gave it to me at the time. I'm pretty sure it was peppermint. I can't exactly remember. but it actually made me feel like I'd had a cup of coffee. It was really, it really switched on the mental focus and
Are
made
you
me.
sure that it wasn't speed? Yeah, sure, Shane. It's essential oil. Yeah. Put under your tongue. Don't look. Just put under your tongue.
It's a liquid he got from Happy High Herbs.
Yeah. I don't know what this is, but I just want to hug people and tell them music up.
And I guess that answers my question.
No, peppermint. I have heard peppermint is quite good for giving you like a little pep in your step.
I like it.
Thanks. Yeah.
You should sell that stuff. Slogan like that.
Just came up with it.
Uh-huh.
I'm here for the day.
Don't mix
yeah,
your
but
peppermint with speed.
no, definitely not. Incense. I don't use anymore. I don't really. Yeah, it's kind of cloying, like just the smell when you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But essential oils, like I have like a diffuser, but even then I use a lot of essential oils, like when we clean, like, you know, if our house gets cleaned and stuff, we use that. But so I actually put white sage. I put white sage oil, like if I mop or anything, I put white sage oil in the mixture with vinegar.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I'm literally cleansing, and it feels really good after I do it. Sometimes I put a little bit of lavender in as well, or lemon, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, lemon as well. So how much would you put in if you're going to mop the floors of a standard size house? I don't know, whatever. How much would you put in? Would you put in like 10 drops, or would you?
I do go a bit crazy sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes it's
Reckless.
10. Sometimes I'm like, woo. I'm like, yeah, one sec.
I'm an animal.
Yeah. I'm out of control. Yeah.
Depends
But
how much peppermint you had first.
It's true.
Yeah. It probably about probably like 7 to 10 drops in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into like a big bucket sort of thing.
Into a bucket, yeah.
Oh, wow. Just goes to show how long it lasts, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But like I do use that.
No wonder the bottles are so small. Yeah.
Why can't they sell bigger bottles?
I know.
You know?
I'll send a strongly worded email.
Yeah, thanks. But yeah, other than that, I don't really I think it's like incense. Oh, and same with the incense cone things as well. I don't like them. And but essential oils are definitely. I like the fact that you do like this smell a little bit of the frankincense oil before you meditate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I haven't done that in ages. That's a really good. I need to do that again.
I actually haven't done it in a little bit too, and you know why? Because frankincense is so bloody expensive. It's like $100 and something bucks a bottle.
Yeah, yeah, because they know it's the shit.
Yeah, because it is the shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else do we want to speak about? So, I had a question come up last night, which is how to differentiate between what is yours and what is someone else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a great question. Okay, class. So, this is going to sound like I'm almost repeating myself compared to our other podcasts, but the only way that I've been able to easily differentiate that is by being in my soul, like with the soul technique, is by being in my soul, because otherwise I can't actually differentiate if that's a reflection of my own stuff, or if it's a projection of theirs. I just think with the sensitivity, because there's a point where you have an energy feedback between two people, and it starts to, especially with partners. I'd like to know your thoughts on this, but I know for quite a fair few years I actually struggled with Shane, just in terms of our connection, and it was quite intense, and we were really close, but I actually struggled. There were times where I was reacting or feeling his feelings, and then I was kind of taking them on and I'm like, what? I woke up feeling, you know, I was like, oh, I woke up grumpy, or I woke up like feeling great. I don't understand what's going on. But yeah, the only way that I've really been able to do that is that, and probably also journaling as well. From a mental perspective, I do ask myself when I'm talking to people, I tune into myself by like feeling my hands or feeling my soul. And as someone, when I'm starting to get that energy feedback, I actually ask myself, like, is this mine?
Yeah.
And they're the only tools that I use. But I'm interested to know what you do.
Oh, look, it just happens so gradually for people, you know, like it even happened to me the other day. Like it got to like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had reflected on the day, and only because somebody messaged me and said, how are you feeling? Because they were tuning into me. And I said, oh, all these things have seemed to go wrong. I'm not feeling great, and I don't know why. I started out this morning feeling great, and because it happens gradually, it just creeps up. It's very difficult to differentiate between, and I needed that check-in, and I'm glad as someone who was in Bribey, and like he's a very intuitive guy, and I checked with you to confirm, and then you're like, yeah, you know, you're going crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, you're insane. No.
You need to go through that. So it's difficult to be aware of it as
it's happening.
Yeah, as it's happening. Yeah, especially because it's so gradual.
I think the thing is like it definitely is awareness, and the more aware you are of your soul, the easier that you start to notice that stuff happening in that, like, incrementally, like you're able to kind of go, something didn't feel quite right there. Yeah. And it's like I'm still learning. I still have days, you have days where you're just like, you know, I've had days with clients and then I'm like, why the hell am I feeling like I'm like, oh, hang on. Yeah. And I just go, and I have noticed though that as soon as
especially the positions that we're in with the energy work.
Exactly. But I have noticed that as soon as I identify with my awareness, I go, oh, man, I'm feeling so off, hey. Yep. Then I tune in and I go, hang on, is this my stuff or is it just like a nice energy release that I need to do? And I generally will, like, I would say probably 90% of the time I get like a solid answer. It's only like the 10% where my head's just then also kicked in and starts looking.
You're also on that train.
Yeah. Sometimes I think though, when your head kicks in as well, that it's kind of trying to show you that yes, there was a projection there, but there's also a small part of reflection there for you to see as well. So that's then when I journal on that and then I'll meditate. Yeah. It's still work in progress for me. I'm still trying to navigate and be able to identify it. I found that that's the most complicated one is when it's not so clear cut. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. So I have to say, and I think I brought this up on podcasts before, but being such a strong empath, I have to say constantly, like, I choose to release all energy that's not mine. Yeah. I'm talking 4 or 5 times a day. But the thing is I forget to because life gets in the way. And that was one of those aha moments the other day, and I was like, oh, I haven't even done that. And did it straight away and I was fine.
And you were fine.
Feeling a lot better. So
that's the biggest actually just on that is maintenance. You know, that's one thing that I've done multiple times where I remember even when I fell in love with myself like for the first time, and I remember sitting there going, oh yeah, and I was like, and ride this wave out, baby, like to the point where then it was like about 3 years later, and I was like, why the hell do I feel so horrible? I'm like, because you haven't done anything. Like, this was years ago before I started doing more spiritual work, but I was sitting there like, why am I feeling so crap? Because you're not doing it consistently. But it's something to be said that when you start, it's the same with like even people, you know, meditation and stuff. You can meditate and you're like, fuck, this feels great. And then there are some days where you're like, I don't need to meditate today because I'm feeling good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or you're like, yeah, you know what? I'll meditate tomorrow. Yeah. Like there is something like ingrained within us where we go, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's just coast. Yeah. You know? It's crazy.
It's like people that are bipolar that stop taking their bipolar medication because they feel so normal and good.
Yeah.
You know?
That's another thing we'll talk about on another podcast about that stuff.
Deal. I think just going back a bit, the preventative things that you can do is your levels of protection in the first place. So that is, you know, things like surrounding yourself in, you know, a love and light bubble.
I'm going to kind of probably disagree a little bit here.
Okay.
I've experienced that bubbles don't work, especially being around people that are quite intense or quite in a negative space. So I don't have this thing about protection. I have this thing about awareness, that if I'm more aware of myself and my soul in that circumstance, I don't need to protect myself. That's more where I come from. And that awareness could just be like, how am I feeling right now? Or, you know, having that moment. I used to do bubbles. And yeah, I just found that like by the end of the day, I just felt like, I don't know, I just have moments where I'm like, is this even working? Like,
yeah, because you can't see it, but
no, but I mean, like, it's the whole thing with protection for me, because I really genuinely, and I've been told, I don't know, from my, obviously this is I'm just talking from my opinion and my experience, guys. Protection to me is not, there's no need to protect yourself. To protect yourself means that you're cutting yourself off, or you're shutting yourself out from essentially what's also a super gift, like a, you know, super ability that you've got. And so I have then shifted my focus to go, I want to focus on amplifying that.
Which depends on your level of vibration that you can do that. But go back to the story that I've told about my boss who was a narcissist. That level of protection, like, literally saved me.
Which I can,
Once
I
again,
can
different
understand
energetic level though.
At
that point.
No, that makes sense. And I do, I do understand the journey there. I think it's that, just acknowledging what I did shift from, though. I will say, actually, there was a step there. I shifted from bubbles to pyramids.
Okay.
So I put myself in like sitting at the bottom of a pyramid.
Yeah.
I did that for a while, like a golden pyramid.
Okay.
So I don't know, yeah. But again, I was like,
whatever.
Sitting in a pyramid. I'm like I could still keep picking up on Billy's stuff. So
yeah. Okay.
Needs more reinforcement.
Okay, so I want to ask this question actually. So
yes.
What's something that you can do in day-to-day life that can quickly raise your vibration without frankincense?
Aside from meditation.
Yeah. So maybe breath work, meditation.
Yes.
That can raise it pretty quickly. Excuse me.
One exercise that I do with I would say most of my clients is I get them to feel their hands.
Yeah.
So I get them to have their hands in front of them, look at their hands and feel their hands, like feel their fingers and their palms.
Yeah.
And
so have that awareness.
Well, yeah, in a way, it's because they're more focused on feeling, they shift into their soul. So it is gonna, the more frequently, and it's super easy. So because you can do it while you're doing other things, it just makes it so that you can raise your vibration quite quickly. And the more frequently you do it, obviously, then the higher your vibration's going to raise.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm just trying to think. I know, automatic writing, like, in channeling, I do feel like that really gets you in a nice space.
Yeah.
Where you just write it down.
Your vibration's already pretty high if you're channeling in the first place, right?
Well, that's what I was saying. Even if you're not channeling, but it gets you into it. It actually, automatic writing gets you into a channeling space. So if you just get a pen and paper or a book and you just keep writing the first things that are coming through, it starts to, it's similar to meditation. It opens up that gap, so then you're actually getting messages come through as well.
Yeah.
I found that helps with people. Sometimes they get a bit too stuck up in their head. But yeah, obviously, like, you know, having crystals and, like, you know, with amethyst and what is it? I'm just trying to think. Not lapis lazuli. What is it? Labradorite and you know, ones like that.
Yeah,
they work quite well. What would you recommend
as raising your vibration?
Yeah.
Well, just like I said before, breath work.
Yeah.
Definitely. Certain type of breath work is going to do it almost instantly.
Yeah.
Eating right.
Chanting.
Yeah, chanting.
Chanting right. Yes, eating right. Yeah, actually, like spirulina, wild blueberries.
Yeah.
Chlorophyll.
Yeah.
I always nearly say chlorophyll on that.
So one of the reasons why I asked is because, and you know parts of this, but there's going to be a time where you and I at night are going to go and stand out under the stars, raise our vibration to a point where we can try and see alien spacecraft.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if this works, and we'll do it a few times first.
Have to experiment with it.
Yeah, we've seen it work elsewhere, but we want to do it ourselves, make it work.
Yeah.
If that's the case and we can do it and we have this method to do it, then we are going to create some contact sessions for other people. So we can do it as groups.
And cut you off.
Yeah. It's okay. So we can do it as groups, and it'd be pretty awesome. So
it'll be pretty groovy.
Pretty groovy. Yeah. I'm super excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I've already got a location in mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me.
Shelley Beach.
Shelley Beach.
Yeah.
Okay. So standing on the beach.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. I literally just got the vision just like in my head, like, this is where you're going to be standing. I'm like, okay.
Oh, cool. So this is really happening. This isn't just pissing.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
You're like, just telling the listeners, this is what we're going to be doing. Are we actually going to be doing it?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Well, let's try and organise it for one night this week or next week to actually do that.
Okay. Yeah, before it gets really cold.
Yeah. Maybe before not the next podcast.
Yeah.
But maybe the one after that.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we're recording the next one instantly.
Yes, so, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We record 2 podcasts at a time, guys. Yeah. So if you're watching on YouTube and you're like, looks like they're wearing the same clothes again.
These guys aren't even trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, how are we going for time, Shane?
23 minutes.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, all right, so we don't touch my crystal. Okay, let's talk about awakening, right? So there's a lot of people now going through awakening, and this has happened as recently as last week, where someone that I've done an attunement on, awakening attunement, they can now feel and sense spirit almost instantly. So I know that it's because of their awareness now that they're just open to more.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to be able to tell them that, but this is the first time it's happening to them, or it happens to us all the time.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts? How would you counsel someone through something like that?
This can be a bit of a hard one for me personally, to give solid advice on, just because I've kind of grown up having those experiences. So for me to relate to that, I'm going back to when I was a kid, and
so your advice would be to throw your toys at it.
Yeah, my advice is like, just tell them to go away and go back to sleep. I'm like, go to your mum. I think first and foremost is that you need to tell yourself that you need to remind yourself that you are in charge. I think that is one of the biggest things, because sometimes we get caught up in the experience that we kind of forget that your soul, like, you're in charge. And if you want to see those spirits and you want to continue having those experiences, that's your choice. Like, you have a choice. It's kind of like spirit opens it up and goes, hey, do you want to peek here? Like, do you want to come inside here? And it's your choice whether you want to go in. And it's also your choice as to how far you venture in as well.
Yeah.
So I think there is a lot of fear around it, and that fear is about not being in control.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, I really feel, and I do coach people on this, where I say that you need to remember that you're in charge. So if at any time you feel uncomfortable, you actually just need to say, okay, thank you, that's enough right now. Some people will even turn around and go, oh, but you know, they're insistent, they're being at me. And it's like, well, then it means they have a message. So then you can say, okay, what message do you have?
Yeah.
It could be a feeling, whatever, but because you already opened up that far, you will sense it. Like, you will feel it, what the message is. And then you just go, okay, thank you. You may go now. And that's like, generally it is actually that simple and easy. If some people turn around and go, and I have had a few people turn around and say to me, oh no, you know, they're not leaving. Like, I've told them to go. It's like, well, you're also keeping them there because you're fixating on the fact that, oh, this spirit's come in and now they won't leave me alone. So you're going to keep almost like signaling to them that you won't leave me alone. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's definitely, in my opinion, it's a case of standing your ground.
Being in your power.
Yeah, being in your power, realizing that they're only there because of you. And if you don't want to deal with that at that time, then you tell them, preferably audibly, that you do not want to deal with that. Yes, you
do need to tell them out loud.
But at the same time, you organise a time where you can deal with that.
Yes, I love that so much. Yes.
And most of all, you stick to that time.
I tell heaps of people before bed, like if they've just been awakened, I'm like, before you go to bed, like if in the morning and at night is when your ego is less active, like your thinking mind. So either in the morning or at night time, you need to sit down and you need to say, okay, what messages do you have for me? Or what do you want me to know right now? Ask them that, then it's like you've at least given them a window of opportunity to communicate with you. I found heaps of people will go, oh, you know, I talk to my angel, like I talk to my guides all day. And, you know, and I'm like, yeah, so do you listen to them? And they go, oh, no. I'm like, well, that's why you're not being able to sleep properly. Because they're like, well, they've been talking to us all day. Like, right, I've got some answers for her. So you definitely, I love that so much. And I do tell people, I like to do it at night, but do you do that? In the morning or at night?
No, well, in the morning, So generally when they come to me, it's just before I go to sleep. So I'm lying in bed. And at the start, it was quite confronting, like it would be for a lot of people. But I say to them the same thing all the time. It's like, this is my room. I'm going to sleep now. But I promise you, just get out of my room and the kids' room. I promise you at 4:30 in the morning,
I'll be there.
I'll be there and I'll help you out. And then it stops. So they get to a point now, I've got it to a point now where they come in and when I'm lying, let's say I'm lying on my side, they will just imagine this is my hip. They'll just go.
They put just but it's just
really
slight
lightly
pressure.
just to not scare me. But and I'm at the point where I'm like, what? I'm just about to sleep.
Oh, one thing I do before bed is like once I've gone, oh yep, there's the messages, cool. I have two signals that, well, I originally had two, now I just use the one, but what I do is I actually put my arm, so like where my elbow, almost like a kind of upside like triangle, I actually put that over my eyes. So I put that over both my eyes and my third eye. So my elbow is in my third eye. And that's my signal. Like where I'm like, okay, we're done for the night.
So you sleep like that?
I don't need to sleep like that. I just
so
put,
you just lay there and put your
I just put my arm up over my head for a bit, and then I put it back down, and it's like, yeah, that's my signal. That's done.
Good.
So there's another one where people, some of my other clients are, that I've told to do this as well. Just depends on what feels right for them, but is to tap their third eye with their index and their middle finger on their right hand, like just tap it 3 times on their third eye and just go, yeah,
Lights out.
I'm done. Yeah.
It's
lights out. Yeah, because otherwise I wouldn't get sleep.
Yeah, I know
You'd be the same.
Yeah, that's cool. I hope it gives people a little bit of insight, because there are so many people waking up right now, especially the ones that we've been dealing with.
Yeah. I have a quick question for Shane. Oi, Shane.
Hit me.
Have you had any experiences where you've gone, oh, that's a bit weird, or you felt uncomfortable in terms of spirit?
Yeah, lots this year. So I know for you guys it's back when at baby age kind of thing, but for me it's like literally just this year. I don't have so many messages when I'm like going to sleep kind of thing, but I've been noticing like just like it's just at different times, like say in the morning if I'm heading off to the gym or something like that, almost sort of like it's like I'm looking at the world as like a different person, and everything feels like it's almost like a house of cards, and it's like I get to see through everything, and then there's like it's really hard for me to describe, but it feels like I can see through everything, and then everything around it's like doesn't really matter anymore, but yet it does matter. It's really important, but not important in the way that I consider it to be important.
Yeah.
And because of that, it almost makes me feel panicky, almost like it's really important, but not in the way I thought it was. And now I don't understand anything, so I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. And when I do that, I just kind of like try to bring my awareness back into myself. And if I'm, say, driving, I'll like over focus on my driving for a while, or I'll put on some music and just like listen to that for a little bit, and then I'll actually allow myself to feel that again and just kind of go, oh, that's just me growing. That's kind of.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's just me growing. That's cool.
Yeah, I just wanted it is really a testament to the control that you have too in that situation. Because when those things come up, it's easy to get wrapped up in that. And
I just wanted to know, because I was like, well, obviously the kid's a little bit different for us, and I was like, well, Shane's just at a slightly different level, and I was like, I'm interested to know what because have you had moments where you've been like a bit, or like with whether it's been like your dad or your sister or anything like that, where you've gone, oh, that's a bit much, or even just a spirit in general, Shane?
Not so much with like a spirit, because because of my dad and my sister, I feel like I'm pretty good already with spirits. Like I feel like I felt like my dad was a powerful presence around me for like a long time, and then even a little bit with my sister, and I kind of don't feel like they've gone away, but I'm like used to it. So now if I have other spirits come in, it feels kind of like a clear message I got just the other night was, you need to start writing like every single day. Doesn't matter, like not too much. I think. Yeah, no, that's cool. So for the last couple of, and I haven't for the last couple of days. So each night I've been getting, you need to write, you need to write, you need to write. And it's kind of like a bit incessant.
Yeah.
I think that's
you need to write what, like automatic write?
I don't know. There's nothing else. It's like,
just writes his name. No.
I don't know whether it's a pen and paper or anything, but it's like just open up a document and start putting words down.
Writing. I think that's a really important point though that I just want to recap, is that if people have lost a loved one before, I do feel like they are a lot better or just in a slightly different position really to deal with spirit or to deal with that unknown factor. So I think if you haven't lost anyone, like I know we've had moments where you've got messages and I've got messages before about people with their kids, and they're like, oh, my kids are seeing people that have passed away, or, you know, like my teenage daughter's having a really hard time. It's freaking her out.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah, I feel like when you go into that, it's like, well, aside from the fact that, one, you're kind of seeing things that most people don't see.
Yeah.
Which, when I was growing up, there was a point when I found out other people weren't doing that, I just I was like, oh, I'm crazy. Like, you know, like, I'm just am I just making this up? Like,
but it's one thing feeling the spirit, but if it's another thing, especially for people who aren't used to it, when they show you how they died.
Yep.
Which is a bit confronting.
We've spoken about this on the podcast before, when there's like in transitions. I've been quite specific with my guides in saying, like, you know, if people want to come to me to get help crossing over, that's okay, but I don't show me their form in the way that they have died, because it's, you know, I think I said, like, I had that guy that got burned in a fire and woke me up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning touching my foot. Like, I don't, like, you know, that I've still got that image, like, in my head.
Yeah. I had someone who was shot in the face.
Yeah.
Like, it was gross.
Yeah, it's not, you're like, I don't need to see this. Like, I can help you, but I don't need that specific visual. Give me a visual of just you in your normal form.
That's right. But you can differentiate in that situation, like when this person was shot in the face, that you don't feel, or I know not to feel their emotions when that happened.
Yes.
They were literally just showing me. They weren't showing, there was no blood curdling screams.
No, there's nothing else there. It's literally just the visual.
Showing.
Yeah, they're just showing you what happened.
It's a weird thing that there's no energy around that at that point. So they still had that gratefulness to be able to talk to me.
I'm like, oh, great.
My
whole thing is now, I'm like, you don't need to show me that, so you can just tell me, like, just tell me what happened. Like, oh, okay. Like, shift back into normal. That's better.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that got a bit deep. So
yes.
hope you enjoyed that one. Learned a few things. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you for the next one.
Yes. Peace.